Sure. Okay. Well, we're recording now. Okay, so we're in this active manifestation time in this Virgo season, in this moon cycle, from the Leo new moon to the Pisces full moon. Okay, those are the moons we're working with, and in Virgo season. And so this hands-on physical manifestation time is about focusing on health, reality, routines, and lifestyle. I'm going to say it again. Health, reality, routines, and lifestyle. And so your health and your routines and your lifestyle, you get to pick and choose how those things are arranged to create your reality, right? So this is still a time of actively sloughing off the last remaining parts pre-waking up of the past that holds us in those negative, not even negative, but lower vibrational energies, releasing those things in a severance type way so that we may elevate to the reality that we deserve, which is the one that we want, right? Because we deserve the abundance that we want in our heart, in our highest self. That is that self that was made, right? All we're doing is like living into that being. Okay. Now it's time to plant the seeds for what you want to see to happen in 6 months. This is not a harvesting time. This is a seed planting time. Okay?
Okay.
It's coming from a place of genuineness, coming from a place of purity, good intentions, not manipulation, right? It's not about manipulating the soil. The soil is ready. The seed is ready. The elements are ready. Everything is ready. Now that we can be in a place of gratitude for readiness, what we do with that readiness is what we give back to the universe for preparing us, right? So from that genuine, loving, pure place of being grateful for what's been received and survived, and wanting to reap the benefits of that harvest, right? Like when you're growing a garden, you feed the first fruits of the garden back to the earth as a thank you, as a tribute to the earth for producing for you. So that's kind of like what this part is, right? This is the tending to the seeds planted over the next 6 months. So right now it's time to concentrate deeply on what your next right good move is in order to reach that higher vibrational place. I basically feel like I tell everybody the same thing because the message is pretty resoundingly clear from spirit that all that is expected of us is to do the very next right thing on the path of movement towards our highest good. And that doesn't mean we always make the right decisions, because wrong decisions, in quote marks, is just a detour. It's just a scenic route. It's just an experientially heavier, trickier, more chaotic route than to just do the easy next best thing, right? We can always do the harder next best thing. That's still going to get us to the end goal, which is our highest self. However, whatever path we find to get to our highest self, getting to our highest self is the goal, right? So this is a time of planting the seeds and taking responsibility for what we're manifesting.
Whoa.
Because sometimes we manifest things by just talking about it. Let me find a banal example. Oh my gosh, I'm eating this big block of cheese all in a sitting. It's gonna make me constipated.
Are you seeing like all of my notifications like blowing up right now? It's like, I guess you can't hear it, but it's like, as you're speaking, it's starting to resonate more with me, and all of my technology is like going off.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really
cool. So imagine eating a block of cheese and going, this is going to make me constipated. Well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You get constipated. But if you want to enjoy this delicious block of cheese in a sitting, there might be other measures you could take, like also eating some green vegetables, taking some sort of medication that might help. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we have to take responsibility. What we say, simply what we say, like, you know, man, I'm not going to get enough sleep tonight. I'm going to be in a bad mood tomorrow. And then you wake up in a bad mood. You don't even know that you created that with your words, but you planted that seed and it grew and it manifested. And now you're like, I knew it. Right? Yeah. So instead, it's not like you can change the future. Bad things still might happen. You might have a bad mood. Like, it, you know, that's human experience. But the intentional shift in how we're willing to even acknowledge risk or danger, like how we have the power of how we speak those realities into existence. So if I want to be scared, or if I want to be whatever, it's hard to come up with words, but really the point is, if we're intentional about how we shape the thought, if we're intentional about how we shape the utterance, then that is the good sticking together stuff, the good mortar of a brick path to the next right highest good, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're still gonna get there, but it might be like a crappy foundation falls apart sidewalk with tree branches underneath it, or a perfectly laid yellow brick road. Okay? You see how these like dramatically different paths, they're still going to the Emerald City.
Yeah.
It's just like the route is extremely different. Being willing to see things for what they really are.
No.
I feel like I need to explain that because you had such a reaction. Adaptability.
Yeah.
Staying on task, which also staying on task requires distilling down what the actual task is to begin with.
God.
That's intentional work too.
Find out what the fuck the task is.
Right. And in the process of all of those things, staying present within it.
Yeah.
Not for the end goal of what that manifestation process is going to give you, but for the purpose of experiencing the process of building and manifesting what the next thing is. Because you're going to get there regardless. So you can experience that getting there two ways. You can experience it by being in it and feeling it and cataloging all those experiences and sensations into this like ever-growing, like spirographing file cabinet of, you ever seen that Jim Carrey movie where he's God, Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Okay, there's this scene in that movie in which he decides to put the prayers in a filing cabinet. And then he tries to open the filing cabinet and it grows like hundreds of feet and like pushes his whole body like this.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's sort of like that in our brains, right? Except for they loop all around our experiences, our memories, our fading memories, the things we'll never remember again, right? All of this is very fluid. Time is something we made up.
Yeah.
You know? So staying present in the task helps us barrel through the task in order to reach the destination. If you start and all you can think about is the destination, all of this time is either lost, wasted, or terribly difficult. But if you like sharpen your head like an arrowhead, laser focus, right? You slice right through that time to the end point. And also you're looking at it all. So you're actually getting all of those messages, all of those experiences, right? Those are my Virgo season, Leo moon to Pisces full moon. Leo new moon to Pisces full moon notes that I took for you.
When is the Pisces moon? When does it occur? I don't even remember.
When's the next full moon?
I found this on the web.
That's not correct. September 2nd.
Wow, cool.
Right?
I believe you. That sounds right.
September 2nd. Ooh.
You know what?
What?
You want to receive some reflections?
Please.
Okay.
I love it.
I am so glad that you went into this before I told you anything about what's going on in my life right now, because I am at like such a pivotal moment in my life and I'm not believing any of the signs that I'm getting. I'm like being very cautious and like, should I go forward? Should I not? Like I'm at a point where I could change my whole life forever, or I could stay in the same spot. And astrology is telling me not to stay in the same spot, but I know, but I'm like really stuck in my Taurus South node and really stuck in like all of this earthy Virgo sun that I like have been hiding behind.
Listen, Taurus South node, just get a snack and barrel through. Just get a snack. Why wait? Grab a Snicker and do it.
Yeah, I mean, food's been alive for me a lot lately. And I'm wondering like, if I had told you everything that was going on with me and then you gave me that advice, then I could have like unraveled it in my head and been like, oh, like that's not true or whatever. But the way that it happened, where you were just like giving me such incredible and accurate advice, and a lot of things that I needed to hear, because I haven't been dropping into it because I'm so scared of it. So I haven't been able to drop in and receive divine messages. So it's really sweet that the universe is giving it to me this way.
Oh, the universe has your back.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm so excited to see all of these lovely cards.
Okay. I already basically know all the ones I want to grab.
Yay.
From what I understand, you're already pretty into self-care. Am I correct about that?
I'm really into self-care.
Oh, I don't need to read for you on that. I can pass. A lot of people really need to be read for self-care. There's self-care messages will come through, but like a self-care deck that like will help you get in the right direction. That's not really, I'm not picking up that that's the vibe you're needing.
No.
Okay. I can always draw a card for you from it, but.
Yeah.
All right. First,
there is a lot going on for me of like, how do I do this? Or what do I do? But I mean, I have a bathtub.
Continue sharing. I'm going to shuffle up all the decks while you share as much as you want, and I'll collect the information. And then, does that make sense? So that you can share what you want, and I'll read towards those messages.
Okay, cool. I'll freestyle, you shuffle. Okay. Yeah, so I'm on the verge of moving, and a lot of this started the weekend of a retreat that I went to around intimacy, and I facilitated a guided meditation, and I've been leaning into doing more like body, sex, and intimacy work around my magical practice, like sharing it with people instead of keeping it to myself. And so that has been kind of catalyzing a new life for me that I wasn't expecting, where, you know, my opportunities to get educated around that are increasing, opportunities to get nourished by people that are doing the same work are increasing. But what's also increasing is the need to be a little more mobile and to be a little more fluid so that I can travel and get to these opportunities. And so I can have a more, or like a less rigid life so that my work online can thrive, because I'm not getting enough support where I am, like from people, and I'm not feeling safe or good even asking for it. And so the decision now is kind of like, you know, do I stay here and try to cultivate a sense of family, or do I pursue a family that's waiting for me, that's scattered all over the world, you know? And yeah, there's a lot around how to, you know, I became stable just now. Like I just became stable for the first time in my life, like 2 years ago. And then now I'm doing financially in a way that I've always wanted to, where it's like, I don't have a day job. I'm working for myself entirely. And so it feels kind of like unfair to me to like knock myself down from that. But I like, there's something that I need to fall into that is so necessary. And it's like my earth brain is like, oh, well, don't abandon your home. Like you have all of your things here, and you like have a comfortable bed and 2 sweet cats, and like, you don't even know where you're going. Why would you do that? So
can I ask a serious question? Now, I want to say I'm not a fortune teller.
Okay,
So I don't. Right, I can't tell you what will happen or what you should do. But have you ever thought about just getting an RV that would fit your bed in it and your cats?
You know, when I was younger, I used to say I wanted to live in a van, and then I grew up and I decided that that would be awful. And now, like the past couple weeks,
not a van. That's not what I said. A mobile home, like a 28-foot queen size or king size bed, has a like semi full size refrigerator and a gas stove, like mobile home with like a washer and dryer in it. You pay for a plot at an RV park with like rich old white people and park your thing and use your Wi-Fi there.
I mean, that sounds fun.
You get a hot spot. You're like, well, I'm going to drive to a mountain today, and I'm going to go take a dip in a hot spring, and then I'm going to meet up with this person to record a podcast in Nevada, and then my friends in California said I could come crash for 2 weeks, and then I won't even have to pay for a plot. I'll just park in their yard. And then I'm going to drive across country to New York to go see this weird, obscure burlesque show full of I don't know, all people wearing Oompa Loompa costumes. I don't know. You know, like, I'm just saying, I don't see, if you work from home,
Yeah.
I don't see why you couldn't tiny home you would just live in an apartment, right?
Yeah, I mean, my place is pretty fucking tiny right now.
I don't know why you couldn't just live in like a 28-foot trailer home and drive around the country and make your content. Tour in cities, you know. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, it's just an idea. I'm just saying.
I know, yeah, I get it. And I love, like, that sounds so fun. And like, what is this energy in me that hears that and like is like, nope, you don't deserve it?
Oh, that's a great question.
Like,
well, you're getting the offering right now. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if you have to believe that you deserve it in order to receive it. That might not be part of the bargain. You might not have to deserve it. You might just get it anyway. Does that help?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, let's do it.
Did that fall out?
Yeah.
That's
I don't pull cards. That was the first card. It had already fallen out, but I just finally turned it over because we had a good point for me to.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel urgent. It feels like it's really soon, like a quicker decision than I've had to make in a long time. And it's not an emergency.
Why does it have to be quick?
That's what I don't know. I don't know why. Like, this is the first time in my life.
Brain. If there's no reason, when's your lease up?
Oh, well, my lease is up in like a year. There's some complicated stuff about my lease because in October they made me move to expand the freeway. And so I signed a fresh lease, not thinking about it. And now I'm realizing like, oh, maybe I'll finish my old lease. So I have to talk to my landlord about it. But the urgency is kind of coming from like, there's like a portal opening or like a shift happening. Right. And it doesn't mean I have to move now, but it means like there's some action, like there's some opportunities.
In 6 months.
Yeah. 6 months. That's what's been coming up in everying is like what's going to happen in 6 months. Like all of the astrology.
All the astrology said it. Before this reading, you said, and nobody ever is like specifically, can we talk about my Virgo energy? And I was like, sure, I guess. And I like the very next thing I looked at, I don't even think I Googled it. I just like opened YouTube and there was a box that said whatever you had just said. And I was like, oh. So I clicked it and that's where these notes came from. I probably have it somewhere. I'll link it to you. But it said, now plant the seeds for 6 months.
Yeah. So that could be, this is how I'm framing it now, is like,
climb that mountain.
Yeah, the preparedness and like packing snacks, like you said.
The bridge.
What is that one? The bridge.
6 months. You already know the answer. It's like, you're like, here's the answer, and I don't know how to accept it. Can you tell me how to accept it? I mean, sure. Here's how. Put your hand out.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy. It like makes me want to cry. Or wild, rather. I'm trying not to.
Okay. We're going to move on from this deck. Ooh, the seed.
Yeah.
The seed. Plant the seed. And in 6 months, you don't have to think about it. Manifestations are in the bucket. You already know that.
Yeah.
You have to plant the seed and go, I know you're going to grow. Here's everything you need to grow. And I'm going to go focus on the other things that are within my zone of proximal control.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the feeling. The feeling is like, I'm out of control. Like, I want to control it.
Accept that. You're out of
control. Boo.
You're out of control. You're a human being in this vast. You know what I'm saying? You have no control. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
Let me do a magic trick of having no control. Just burning some more sage real quick.
Yeah, I'm feeling like
No offense. I need to hear it too.
Yeah. Plant the seed for 6 months. I'm like prescribing myself a spell right now.
All right, pick one. Rose quartz, smoky rose quartz, or sunstone.
Ooh, sunstone.
Okay. Pick one. I don't know if this is obsidian or hematite or sunstone.
Hematite / obsidian,
I'm
whatever
not
it
sure
is.
what this is. Maybe just a smoky quartz.
Yeah, I want the smoky quartz one.
Okay. Did you like your eye examination of stones?
Yes. I don't know what any of my stones are called. I'm like, I use my crystals so much, and I'm like, I just call them by their names.
I have a friend. You name them? That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
I have a friend who sent me almost all the crystals that I have. Just like, she just occasionally helps me boost my crystal collection. And then I just put them out in the full moon and charge them up, and they do whatever. I put them on top of decks. They're pretty. I don't know. There is no right or wrong way to live your life. Be easy on yourself, Britt.
Wow.
Whatever you want. Just
Today,
do whatever one you want.
I was saying, like, I have trouble between what I think I'm supposed to do and what I actually want to do. And, like, yeah, there is no, like...
You're built like that. I was born this way.
That's so, yeah, accurate. I like how sassy your cards are.
Yeah, it's definitely been an evolving collection. I just realized that I needed to start paying closer attention to more of the artwork and the messages. And I mostly read Oracle because the messages are so clear cut to me. I'm just such a novice at tarot. I've only been doing card reading for a year, and tarot is so complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing tarot for a few years, but I switched to Oracle decks just recently because I was feeling like it was too much minutia. Abundance is on its way as much as you'll allow me open to receive it. And that brings up the other thing about my wounded feminine is that my receiving ability is so traumatized and hurt.
That's
like
why you have to be the one who gives it to you. Other people, like, that's why I'm like, oh, just go get your trailer. Because the thing is, then you learn to nourish and nurture yourself with the help of the co-creation of the universe.
Yeah.
You see yourself, I was just telling someone in a reading earlier, you see yourself as the cup, right? And what fills it. You're both the vessel and the filling. Well, the spirit is really what fills it, but your work with spirit, allowing spirit in is what fills it. But you are the cup, right? So once you're in, it's a solitary lifestyle to evolve and awaken spiritually. But it's not that there's nobody else up there, it's just that there's fewer people. So that selectiveness process, and that's okay, it just really saves you a lot of energy for the things you love, like the content that you like to make, your hobbies, close relationships. I mean, I'm a Libra sun, and a Libra Venus. So yeah, so relationshiping with other people and, like, you know, my children, my family, my spouse, like the list goes on and on. My friendships, the more room I make for my own, who I am to come out, the more I enjoy my time, the more I seem to evolve, the better relationships I have with the people I've decided to keep in my journey, the easier it is to snip people out of my journey who are dragging me down or being a vampire or whatever. Every time I finish a cycle and I'm like, oh, phew, karmic cycle over, then I realize I'm at the bottom stair of the next cycle.
Yeah.
Right? I'm at the bottom of the next floor, but I have working legs, I have will, I have hydration, speaking of.
Oh, yeah. Can I go get a water real quick?
Please, I'm going to fill mine up.
Okay.
Everything is happening in the perfect time for you. Remember that it's way better to have things in increments than having it all at once.
Wow. Yeah, that's probably what I needed to hear around, like, this fake panicking that I'm feeling. Like, I don't want change. It's like, it's not all happening right now, boo. Like, Take it a bite at a time.
Worry. Release your worry. Know that everything is going to be all right. Don't panic.
Yeah.
Don't worry about proving yourself in this life.
Wow.
There is no ending to who you are. Your energy never ceases to be.
That's interesting. I have been thinking a lot about legacy and like branding and like what I'm supposed to achieve as like a teacher and an artist and a cam girl. Like,
Look at all of these travel pictures.
I know, it's so scary.
Bridge. Plant the seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Endings are always the start of a new beginning. Move forward with courage.
Wow.
Try to see only love in any situation, person, and in yourself. Love wins.
Yeah, there's also this new relationship in my life that has been creating a lot. If you are uncertain, know this is okay. Trust the answer will come in due time and you'll know exactly what to do.
6 months.
Yeah. That's 6 months with a blindfold on. That's what that card is telling me.
It's okay. You already know what the outcome is. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's okay.
Easier said than done. It's easy to manifest for other people, right? Because you don't really care about the outcome. It's not your outcome.
Yeah. But that energy of like, like that's totally what I want to embody. So keep it coming.
Let's see. I'm using the order of the stones that you picked to go in order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Makes sense? So, okay. My fearless freedom lights up the world.
Wow.
There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth.
It said sexy.
I am the dreamer of my dream.
Wow.
I was just like,
I want to write those down. Can you read them slowly?
I'm keeping them stacked.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Do
cool.
you want me to read them slowly now, or do you want me to just send you the pictures?
Will you just remind me of the first one?
My fearless freedom lights up the world, or the other one?
That one, yeah.
My fearless freedom lights up the world.
Because like courage and freedom are the two things that like over the course of Leo season, I was just like gnashing away at.
It lights up the world.
Yeah.
It lights up the world. That sounds like more than just what you want. It sounds kind of like a responsibility to me. Don't put it in a bushel basket or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It lights
My
up the world.
ancestors talk a lot to me about like my duty here on earth and like the work I'm supposed to do while I'm here.
For authentic truth. Yeah.
Yeah. And like the sex and authenticity, that's my career. Like that's it. That's my whole career. Wow.
This is my favorite hobby. I also like gardening. Making art with my kids. Playing video games with Zach. We're also like having fun. Like we just bought this house. We've been together for 10 years. We finally did it. And so we're kind of having fun just like finding out what's wrong with it. It's all right. It's ours. It's our problem to solve.
That's so sweet. Congratulations.
Thank you. The presence of love will always cast out fear. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am.
Wow.
Deep.
Yeah, I feel really self-conscious about my faith, actually. And it's coming up a lot.
I said, what do you mean? Do you want to say more about that?
Yeah. You know, like, I've just been doing, like, spiritual work for so long alone. and really being hermity about it. And then like over the past few years, I've been a little more open, and like, you know, last year I started a little witchy Instagram as like an outlet for that kind of work. And now like all of my things are converging, and I'm actually more self-conscious about my belief in like magic and aliens and ghosts and like my communication with the future than I am about like my pussy and like teaching people how to say pussy. Like
This is the card that just came out. I mean, I think that the universe has a hilarious sense of humor. Let me see. I want to read the book meaning of this card. This is not close enough. Okay, hold on. Let me just get...
I got a lot of like feelings.
I'm going to hold the picture back up again while I read it to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Mama Aya. Regardless of how beneficial it is to heal, there is grief implicit in the process. We were born whole and must relive the brokenness we experience along the way in an attempt to return to a wholeness that will never truly be ours again. What we get instead is wisdom. There are no guardrails on this life. People fall off the edge all the time. And even if you don't fall off the edge is where we all eventually end up. The only true certainty for all of us is that this life will end, and life cannot be stored up like currency. It will disappear the moment you attempt to hold it in your hands and examine it. It would stand to reason that this, whatever this is all we have. Ooh,
Wow.
It's not even, that's half of it. Most of these aren't that long, so this is, listen up. The earth gives us clues that she wants us to heal, as can be found in various plants, flowers, herbs, vines, and fungi. In times of need, these seemingly silent organic forms may interact with the human body, facilitating a heightened awareness of the self and a connection to an array of cosmic archetypes eager to show you a piece of their sky. In return for a glimpse into their truth, they ask for your own, to count your shackles and locate the missing keys that unlock the path of your freedom, and by so doing, theirs as well. The raw edges of healing may be searing hot and razor sharp, but do not confuse the death of your wounds with the death of you. What the fuck?
Cool.
Hashtag call out culture. Jesus.
Yeah, that was really pointed. That felt so, yeah.
No, it was actually, it didn't even come out. It was the only card in the deck that was upside down.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
I was like, I guess we're reading that because I looked at the picture and it sounded like what you were saying in picture form.
Yeah. Yeah, that off the edge fear, definitely present. Like the inability to stay present for the healing is totally like a problem. Ugh.
Oh my God.
I'm feeling a lot move around right now.
The next card that came out is called The Way Home, and it's a picture of a treasure map through the wilderness, but like mountains and oceans and that kind of stuff. Not like scary wilderness, but like a map of adventure. And
Yeah.
it says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Wow. I'm like, I've never had a more prophetic reading. And it's so funny that you're like, I'm not a fortune teller. And you're like,
hey, if you find messages about the future and you're reading, that's up to you. I'm not saying anything about what the future holds, only that if you already know the answer of what you should do, you should just listen to God / the universe / Gaia / whatever you call it. Come back down to earth. This is the time to plant the seed. You're not in outer space yet. And this is the hard hitter. Are you ready for a hard hitter? Your work It's not about you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to do your work wherever you go. What you do for you is about you.
And look at the stage.
Yeah. Don't mess around, man.
Yeah, which is totally the thing, is like, stop making it about how scared I am and how my ego is going to suffer and how my life's going to be. It's like, this work isn't for me. That's why that's the point. Like, yeah. Aww.
Sunflowers.
Yeah.
Sunflowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to expound upon that in this public-facing reading. An equal but opposite reaction.
Wow.
Whatever you do, as long as you're in motion to make like gains towards your highest good, like your effort will be met with a matched level of energy towards the topic. You've already proven that, right? You've moved your entire career into your home space and bought your freedom with your own energy work, right? So the return on the investment, because I remember when you were kind of first getting out there and everyone was like, what's this naked girl doing, right? Like, you know, what about this podcast, right? So now you're in this whole other space where you've actually made a career for yourself out of your home space. And so the effort that you did put in that maybe no one else could see what you already knew the result would be, right? That's the immediacy of magic. You just believed it was true and it was going to work, and then you did it and now it worked. So in whatever your next choice is, it doesn't matter which direction you go, because when you choose that it will work because you're going to match the energy. Your Virgo preparedness is going to match the energy necessary to prosper in whatever area you move, as long as it's in line with your highest good. And if it's not in line with your highest good, it's going to crash and freaking burn, and you're going to know all about it, and you're going to feel all that, and you'll just make that into art. It's just that simple anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, invisibility mode, Hermit. I was thinking about this card. That's why I got this deck out next. Like, I was like, you were talking about how you're hermiting. Oh, man. Okay. Let me see what time it is. Okay, we're good. This is one of my newer decks, the Art Oracles. Change your life with art. Consult your oracles today.
Ha.
And so, since the word art came up, I'm going to see what comes up.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little, in addition to like all, like every facet of myself that's converging right now has its own insecurity associated with it. And one of them is that like, I can't be an artist. Like, that's not a job. But in the way of being that I am, like, I've been working on bragging with this guy that I'm seeing. And so like, I just talk about how like things that I like about myself. And one of the things that always comes up is how like, I am like raw creativity. Like everything I do is creation. Like I'm very like mother womb, like all that stuff. But I feel super crunchy about being an artist.
Can you read this?
I can't see it. My vision's not great.
It's not a great cam. It's a webcam. Andy Warhol. Eat dessert before dinner. Give your 15 minutes some time. Wanting can be better than having. I want to show you something. I showed this in my last reading too. I'm assuming you do manifestation work.
I do.
So do I, but I don't script because that, I don't know, it creeps me out about myself. I don't know. I like to hear my voice, but I don't like to read my wishes and dreams in that like Dear Diary kind of way. It makes me self-conscious and I don't want proof of that. And anyway, but in my manifestation book, I want to show this to you because I think it'll resonate. I wrote, I have a beautiful opinion of myself.
Wow.
And all over, it's great to be able to brag to yourself to other people, but you really need to be able to brag to yourself in the mirror. Right? So can I read you a couple of examples of things that are on this page?
Yeah.
Growth oriented. I'm spirited. I'm judicious. Libra, hey. I'm introspective. I'm conscious. I'm organized. I'm magnanimous. I'm boundaries oriented. I'm experienced. I'm optimistic. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
You can brag about anything. There's dozens of things I wrote about myself on here, and I believe they're all true. There's a couple on there that I don't think I'm totally perfect at. Like I wrote forgiving in the present tense, and that's something I actively have to work on. But right, like you can brag on yourself by manifesting your positive thinking feelings about you. Do a love spell on yourself. Write these things on little strips of paper and stick them in a jar and put some honey or whatever whatever the fuck it is. Magical potions, I don't know. Just some rainwater, menses, whatever. Like, fall in love with yourself. Put some dirt in there.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol off again. I was shuffling and it came out again. I'm going to read it again. Eat dessert before dinner, Taurus, node. Have a snack. Eat dessert before dinner. Give your 15 minutes some time. And it's like maybe 6 months. Wanting can be better than having. So that goes along with that, like, be feeling in the present from those Taurus note or from those Virgo notes.
Yeah.
The process of diving through it and receiving what you're getting as you're going through, All right.
Yeah, there's a strong message about like just because it's not like valuable or something, like something about just like having fun and doing something that is like adventurous and fun for the sake of it, and like trusting that it will contribute to my vision even if I don't know how.
Everything
like,
is art.
Yeah, to just like indulge in that instead of feeling the pressure to be like perfect or to be on the right path, quote unquote.
I mean, yeah, the thing is you have absolutely nothing that's actually holding you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can literally do whatever you want. You can literally do whatever you want. I'm like, what are you doing here?
And that's wow, I just realized that like, that's what I was
Star.
Like I've been manifesting that all last year, like freedom to do what I want. Because I was just like, I'm tired of doing what other people want me to do. And then I closed that cycle and I kind of like left that because I started getting busy or whatever.
The manifestation is in the bucket.
But now it's like, here it is. Like, this is the thing that you asked for like 4 fucking months.
How much more enjoyable will the next 6 months be when you know what they're going to get you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine, we always walk through life with so much anxiety about what could happen. Imagine what it could be like walking through life knowing what's going to happen. Like knowing that you're working towards this very specific thing that's just going to happen. You already know it is because you've gotten all the signs. Magic. Come on.
Wow. I wonder if doing magic for other people means that I need to up my magic for myself. I wonder if I have an energy imbalance.
Don't give any more magic away than you keep for yourself.
Yeah.
That's a way to get burned out and not love your craft anymore. It should all be about self-care. Maybe I should pull you some self-care cards. You should be doing at least 50% magic for yourself before you do the other 50% for clients.
Yeah.
50%. Pay yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. That's not manifestation energy. That's vampirism.
Yeah, I need better boundaries around that for myself.
Yeah. I mean, you can do, so like I'm giving a lot of free readings away for people to trade things like me recording it, or I've been letting people buy readings from me by purchasing things off my wish list. Because like this is not actually my money making. I have a full-time like job that's lucrative. Like I don't need necessarily the money from this, but I had to start charging for it because I couldn't keep giving away my energy for free like that. So I've been finding the balance, like even in my paid rates for like a sit down hourly reading, I already have a like financial assistance plan built in, you know, because like everyone should get some energy work. Now I'm not going to let myself get taken advantage of, but yeah, anyway, that's, you should is strong language, but I will go ahead and say you should give yourself at least 50% of your energy because there's only one you. You could be keeping 100%, but you're not doing that. You're giving 50% of it away. That's a lot. That's half. Imagine half your body.
Yeah. Yeah, I get caught in the service. Aww.
Simplicity, like living in a trailer. I'm obviously inserting my opinion very heavily into this reading, but
yeah, that brought to me images. There's a friend in Austin who plays music, and we've been like talking about doing some music stuff together, like singing and dancing, or how I process and like cultivate, you know, movement in my energy and like keep sane. And so music has been a huge part. I think I've been increasing like the past few days. Like I danced and sang yesterday, like all day. And I felt so good this morning when I woke up.
So the next card that came out was Rebirth. Look at this person like bundled up, traveling under the black moon.
Wow.
Doesn't look like this person's struggling on their face. They look comfortable in their travel.
The birth canal, the dark part.
Yeah, I'm down to make it vaginal. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Viva la vulva! I almost actually brought a vulva paint or drawing that I made to put in this reading. You want me to go get it?
Yeah.
Because I try to set the stage for whoever I'm reading for. Here you go.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like very for doing all this like sex magic stuff has been teaching me a lot about like gender and masculine and feminine, and I receive a lot of messages about that too. And I have noticed like it really serves me to drop into my vagina and it really serves me to drop into my womb. And like this life, like I know I haven't been a woman in every life, and I have a lot of masculine in me, and like I resonate with that piece of myself, but also like in this chapter of my life now, it's like let's get feminine. Like let's like it's like I need to let go of
going.
Yeah.
Okay. That really makes me okay.
And this is funny that this happened when I was thinking about like how I'm giving so much of my energy away. All of these people are fucking asking me for advice all the time.
Yeah, you should make them pay you for that. Sensuality. Look at this performer performing sensuality. God, I love cards. Okay, but you keep saying things that make me feel like I have to get this self-care box out. Like some affirmation is headed your way, so get ready.
Okay, that's probably what I need.
The last deck of the reading. So I'm spent. I actually have one more reading to do today, but not related to this series. Just like my friend. Sacred Self-Care Oracle.
what I'm thinking, like the question that's coming up is like, how do I, with people that I hardly know, set a boundary or like express that for them it might seem like a small question, but for me it's like time out of my day and like time out of my energy. And I give great fucking advice for
I
my
already
age.
know what to tell you. I have the perfect answer.
Yeah.
That is an amazing and important question, and I am so proud of you for asking it. If you want to book some of my time so we can dig deeper into that, I would love to take you on a journey to explore that question. But at this time, I just don't have that energy to give away for free. Boom, done.
That's awesome.
This will
Thank you
be
for
on the
that.
internet, so you can just rewind when it's posted eventually, and you don't owe anybody shit. You don't owe anybody shit.
Yeah.
Your time and your energy is a gift. Like, if you trade them something and you owe them, then you owe them. But if they just need you or want you, then it's totally up to your discretion. Clean your space.
Yeah. I need to clean my space for sure.
Maybe even just reset it. Make a new video backdrop. You have a lot of different content. You can make angles, like just pick a corner. Don't start with a whole house task. That's not how you unfuck your habitat, which is a great website you should check into if you've never seen it before. Unfuckyourhabitat.com. And it basically suggests doing things in 15-minute increments or individual small tasks. And then when you're done, if you feel like being done, be done. And if you don't feel like being done, because oftentimes getting started is all we need, then you're free to keep working on it. But what's great about some of these methods is I like to start at my, like for example, my bedstand. I make a vision for what I want my bedstand area to look like. I clear the whole bedstand area away and I nicely stage. I make my bed and I nicely stage my bedstand. And then like starting from like the corona of the sun out to the rays, out to the heat, I radiate outward in how I'm gonna attend to my space, because I might be making decorative executive decisions the whole time. I might see a new thing I want to clean and get distracted by that, but I don't know if you were asking for all that, but that's what I like to do.
Well, right now I am working on like, if I want to be a little more fluid, I have to get rid of some of my possessions, and like I have to find, this image of traveling that's been popping up a lot is like saying like, oh, like where is all this stuff going to go? Like, do I even need all of this stuff? Like, I'm really thinking about minimizing, giving a lot of my furniture away and selling some stuff and like just clearing. But I have a lot of resistance around
like
it.
your bed, if you get before you go sell all your shit, secure the mobile home. Furnish it with your current belongings so that it looks like your apartment, and then get rid of what doesn't fit. But anyway, or wherever you go next, if it's not a mobile home. Just saying.
I don't know the logistics. This is like a resistance. Maybe this is Virgoism, and maybe this is just me.
Pushy. That could be it too.
But it's like I'm not like having a full grasp of how I could even like do that. It takes it off the table for me.
After this conversation is over, I'm gonna check in with a couple of people to see if I can introduce y'all, just to have a conversation. Because I know someone who is a solo woman living in a van, and then she married her husband, and then the two of them live together in a much bigger van. Okay, now they don't, because they had to like get stationary for different reasons, but
that sounds like torture at this point in my life.
And I also know a married couple that lived in an RV and traveled all over. I know a couple of people. Anyway, we'll have this conversation later. I'm not going to push you into living in an RV, but I have resources for you if you want them.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what the other message is. Let me stop being super pushy about your future.
Maybe this is what I'm asking for. Like, I'm asking for guidance. Like, maybe you're just an angel. Like,
no. Well, okay, sure, maybe, but that's up for your interpretation. I also am very opinionated and extremely pushy. So that's just part of my personality. Maybe this will make sense to you. I'm a Libra sun. I'm a Taurus moon. I'm a Sagittarius rising.
Sagittarius rising.
And I'm like 33% of all of those things, like equally in my chart. Okay.
Wow.
Connect with your ancestors. Drink tea.
Okay.
Check.
Checklist.
I love making checklists that have things on it I already did so I can scratch them off and be like, I already did some of these things today. Like brush my teeth, check, you know? Write a gratitude list. Look at, there's outer space in her hair.
Aww.
Or their hair. I guess I'm assuming gender. Yeah, write a gratitude list. Meditate.
Okay.
Look for fairies. And if you see like a little glint out of the side of your eye and it looked like something playfully running across the corner of the room, like that might have just been a fairy, you never know.
Yeah.
Aromatherapy, which I highly advise getting sunshine and fresh air into your apartment if you don't do that already. Not like for extended periods of time because it's hot, but just like letting the air recycle out a little bit, or, you know, cycle out a little bit. Take a walk. There's more galaxy there. Writing a gratitude and taking a walk. Maybe, oh, look, when you're taking a walk, okay, so I got this card earlier too, and it's, if you see this, these are all three happening at the same time. Birds flying over the mountains. This person's on a path on the mountain with the birds flying overhead, and the universe exists. And all three of those things are happening at a different time. And where, depending on where you look at it from, which perspective, is which view you're taking in of that same situation that's happening momentarily at the same time. For you, the galaxy's in this person's hair. This person's taking a walk. You might be able to form this gratitude on walks. When you hear birds sing, like casual walks, not like, I mean, you could exercise, that's like exercise walks are good too, right? But just like strolls in which you're actively participating in receiving messages from the universe as an act of meditation, as an act of being grateful for receiving them, right? You can, it's like multitasking for spiritualists.
Yeah.
Using your walk as a meditation, as a manifestation moment, as a way to presence yourself in here and now, right? So walking might be when you think about what makes you grateful, and that will help inspire, that helps you declutter your mind when it's time to sit down and do work on your 6 months of whatever it is to whatever you're heading toward.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be what my opinion says, honestly. Look to the stars. The astrology is telling you very specific things. You can talk yourself out of believing astrology if you want, but if the astrology resonates, you might just want to go ahead and listen to it. It's the easier, softer way.
Yeah.
Look at this shooting star. Look at this wish coming true over the moon cycles, over the astrology stars. All these shooting stars. The hair, but that's also very like vaginal.
Yeah.
What you said, trying to teach people to say pussy. Okay. All right. We're winding down now. Flow like water.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, connect with your womb.
Oh.
We're just saying that. Okay. I'm going to grab a tarot deck. Let me do some stacking real quick. It's not such a mess for later.
Damn. This is a lot.
I know. That's why the recordings are so helpful. I mean, when I do private readings, one upgrade I offer is like a permanent unlisted recording for unlimited review.
Smart.
Okay.
It also feels like I've been kind of, part of coming out of my shell in the spiritual way is like accessing more, like enlisting help from like oracles and readers and just getting the services that I need to continue. And it's kind of like when I started getting massages or like getting my eyebrows done, like my life is just improving in that area because I'm taking care of that area and like asking for support. and taking opportunities for support. What?
Okay. The bottom of the deck energy is the Page of Pentacles. And if you look at this figure, they have very minimal items. They're out on a walk. The city's nearby in the background, but they're out removed from the city in nature. So wherever they are, they have access to both the hustle bustle of like the in-person life that is required maybe in show business, but also access to serenity and solitude in the outdoors. That earthy pentacle energy, discovering that abundance is in this connection with nature. This isn't really about money here, right? This page is newly connecting with earth in a way that will bring prosperity, that will bring pentacles, but at this time it's about being this young page figure, not a knight, not a queen, not a king, not the magician, not the high priestess, no, or the Page of Pentacles here, just finally scraping enough together to look put together, to be ready to enjoy, to like choose time, like how it should be spent, like taking a little stroll. Okay, that's the bottom of the deck energy, but what made me laugh is this spread. We got the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles.
Wow.
So look at the nails done. We were just talking about esthetician work kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
How do you say it? Esthetician?
I know what you mean. Maybe that's not the right word.
Maybe, I don't know. But this ace, this new energy of movement, right? You've manifested your first wand. The sun is shining on your endeavor. The clouds carrying you forward. It might be a dry, mountainous desert, but there's this constant, reliable stream flowing through it. So you're moving forward with new ideas. Now the next, or that might be the past, right? The present is this Eight of Wands energy, furious forward movement. All of these different avenues of forward movement have been stacked together. They're all going in the direction of going forward. This person's like all suited up in their protective gear, wearing a mask. Like, again, minimalist, right? Not a lot of possessions with them, just them and a motorcycle in the desert.
Yeah.
The desert, mountains, but there's water nearby. And the destination.
Aww.
Look at this big, happy, luscious, cared for, abundant, calm, peaceful future.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty clear that the answer to the forever question is to trust your instincts, to keep listening, to get out of your own way, to understand that this future that you want already exists, whatever it looks like. See how many different ways life could look?
Yeah.
Just one little snapshot.
But that's it. Like, that's
Right.
the home, that's the multi-generational family, that's the many loves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, precious little dogs.
Look how cute they are.
Yeah.
Sweet. Like boxers or something?
I've been, listening and reading about Hecate, the Greek goddess that opens gates to the spirit world, and her, she has the totem of the black dog.
Can I read, to close this out, can I read an entry from this book my dad gave me? Do you want me to read today's entry, or do you want me to read your birthday entry? Or both?
Let's do my birthday, because it's coming up.
What's your birthday?
September 10th.
All right.
And I'm going on a spiritual journey for the week of my birthday. Like, I'm having an intentional birthday week.
It's called Blues Ain't Nothing But a Good Soul Feeling Bad.
Aww.
You said September 12th?
10th.
10th. I'm glad I asked.
What?
Some people feel so awful if they are single that they mate carelessly out of a desperate wish to avoid being alone. Carl Whitaker warns, if you really want to experience loneliness, get married. The most painful form of loneliness is feeling alone while in the company of an emotionally inaccessible partner.
Wow.
Some people have been so badly disappointed by past romances that they vow never to love again. In self-protective isolation, they even avoid making close friends and settle for having acquaintances with whom they share shallow alliances set up to have company in activities of mutual interest. Keeping busy becomes a substitute for risking the dangers of loving once again. It passes the time, but the time will pass in any case. While it passes, why not invest yourself in closer, more enriching relationships? You may well get hurt again, but as W.H. Auden wrote, we must love one another or die. And here's the line that made me laugh. Without love, what kind of life do we have? Ooh, I just got charms. Can I do your charms?
Sure. You can do whatever you want to me.
Okay.
You have blanket spiritual consent.
That one came out, said Superfly.
Wow. The romantic situation that I've been in has been very in need of that message.
Whoa. Okay, so here, I got this quarter earlier in a reading too, and I didn't even have all these other charms too, so that's even, okay. So there's this horse, this little horse, and 2 life rings, which I take to mean you're protected, like super double protected. But on this Nebraska quarter, they have a picture of Chimney Rock, and next to it, there's like sunshine. And then there's also a covered wagon being pulled by like oxen, like a very traveling sort of scene through the desert, maybe. So, okay, there's a few things I want to show. One, duh, your kitty cats will be involved.
Yay.
In whatever it is you do, of course.
I've been so worried about that.
It's fine. You know what? Here's a picture from Florida that has a rocket ship, a like ship, and a picture of the coast. And what this says to me is cats can go motherfucking anywhere. You just put them in a carrier, and they'll just come on along with you. Okay? You are protected. Get involved with meditating in ways that help you open up your third eye chakra and ward off the evil eye. So the hamsa, you know?
Okay.
This little bee, do you keep plants for your magic?
Yeah, but I just started.
Okay, so make sure that in your plant, like you make sure that you're like involving the outdoors somehow so that like nature can benefit from your plant magic and not just your internal environment. Does that make sense? Like let the plants spill outside so that the outdoor life can benefit from the harvest as well. Your guides are protecting you all the way. All these messages have been coming from, like it said, watch for fairies, right?
Yeah. Wow.
There's a little hammer. It's time to get to work. Plant those seeds, right?
Yeah.
This is your heartbeat we're measuring. Look at the tail of this little fish. It kind of looks like an infinity, which we know is like related to things that you love. And look at this little heartbeat and this EKG and all those things flowing together like they're just supposed to, you know? It's pretty amazing. Your pentacle, your magic. Yes, stay in touch with your femininity and your music. The Violent Femmes. This is a Violent Femmes thing. Could you get any more specific? Geez. And this is the 1988 Seoul Olympics pin, which I'm not really sure why I put in here, but I always think about how it communicates to me about like athleticism and fitness. If you're like into hooping or like belly dance, or just whatever you want to do to like maintain that activity, that movement, to connect to spirit that way. It's like an all-encompassing thing. And look, you're so sweet. Just know that you're made just this way, right? You're not an accident. You are on purpose, just how you are. And whatever you choose is going to be wonderful, because you're going to do it with the best intentions in your heart. And you're going to, if you mess up, you're going to learn lessons, and you're going to apply them, and you're going to grow in wisdom, and it's going to be okay no matter what you do.
Cool.
That's it. Let me stop the recording.